When I was 3 years old, I began gymnastics, and that became my life. By the time I was in first or second grade, I was at the gym 5 to 6 nights a week, spending several hours a night there. And it was what I loved doing. I wasn't always the best at it, but it's what I strove to do. I think the thing that I loved most about gymnastics was that it was an outlet. And I'm not quite sure how to express that other than that emotionally, I didn't know how to express things, but physically, I could express myself through gymnastics. It was power, it was dance, which was beautiful. So there were different aspects of gymnastics that I really enjoyed doing. When I was 16 years old, I was attending Christian Academy. I was no longer doing competitive gymnastics, and I was now cheerleading and playing volleyball and playing keyboard in a Christian rock band. We were outside of Christian Academy's campus at Rock Creek, and we were in Seneca Park. I was outside tumbling, and the grass was wet that morning. And I was just doing a round off by handspring layout, something I had done since I was really young. But because the grass was wet that morning, my feet slipped out from underneath me. And I ended up not having enough height or rotation to make it all the way around. And I ended up landing on my stomach. And I immediately knew something was wrong. I had no feeling, I had no movement in my body. I remember lying in ICU, and it was just a dark room when the neurosurgeon came in and said, "You'll never walk again." It's hard to tell what I was feeling. I wasn't much of a feeler at the time. I was more of a thinker, so it was really hard to really put into words. I don't even know what I was feeling at the time, to be honest. I understood that I had a spinal cord injury. What I didn't understand were the implications of a spinal cord injury. All of the lost independence that a spinal cord injury brings. I never really was mad at God. And a big part of that was because I thought that a good Christian shouldn't be mad at God. I think I was scared of the anger. I was scared of being mad at God. I was asking, why were my prayers not being answered? The thousands of prayers that were being placed up for me. Why were the prayers of thousands of people not being heard in my situation? If God can heal, why isn't he healing me? Those why questions are the hard ones sometimes. I think the biggest thing that I've learned through all of the past 29 years is that God is there, first of all. But secondly, he can do more with the stuff that happens in our lives that we think is bad, to open up doors for us to do things that are absolutely beyond what we can ever imagine. I would never have been in Afghanistan. I would never have traveled the world and been able to help others. I would never be doing what I'm doing now if it weren't for my injury. And so he can use the absolute worst situations for his glory. I would say if you're facing a wave right now, facing a situation that's really tough, accept the help that's offered to you. Ask for help when you need it. And I think that's one of the hardest things to do, is to accept help. I've been able to do so many really incredible things. So everything from the first time I went to Mexico, which opened up a brand new world to me, seeing how people with disabilities in other countries live, led me on a 9-year journey, 8-year journey of working in developing countries with people with disabilities. And that led me to the job that I'm in now, where I'm working with cross-cultural workers as they live in other countries and become acclimated to a new culture. Through everything that I've been through, I'm most grateful that God has just been there every second of every moment. And I'm grateful for the faith that I have, and it's not of my own doing, it's faith that he's given me. And I think that it's a stepping stone, that the more you trust him, the more doors he'll open, the more opportunities that you'll have. And you need to push those boundaries. and see what's next, and always be looking for something on the horizon, because what I've found is that God can use this situation as a quadriplegic, that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that doesn't mean that, yes, I can walk, but it means that in a chair, God has used me in ways that I never would have imagined. And he can do the same for you.